Zach Adams was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Holly Bobo. That was more than 2 years ago. And now finally his formal appeal is about to be filed.
Does he stand a chance? As News Channel 5's Nick Barris tells us in this exclusive report, there is a very real possibility Adams could get a new trial.
It was an emotional and a painful trial that took more than 2 weeks. A guilty verdict sent Zach Adams to prison, but now his appeal is finally about to be filed.
It would be malpractice to not appeal a case where somebody gets life in prison without the possibility of parole.
That was Adams' attorney Jennifer Thompson on Morning Line more than 2 years ago. His appeal is now pending, and this convicted killer now argues for a new trial.
I think there's probably a greater than 50% chance that this case could come back on an appeal and have to come back and be retried for one or a series of potential errors that occurred.
Legal analyst Nick Leonardo co-anchored News Channel 5's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the Bobo trial. He recalls instances where improper testimony could have tainted the jury's verdict. For instance,
there were some discussions about seeing drugs in the Adams place, methamphetamine and the like, and I think that could be obviously very prejudicial.
Adams was convicted of first-degree murder. The case against him was almost entirely circumstantial and hinged heavily on the testimony of co-defendant Jason Autry. Many believe Autry cut a deal for his testimony, but today he still remains locked up. Why?
Autry is still in jail at this point in time in the Tennessee Department of Corrections because the prosecution doesn't have a whole lot of faith in the conviction that they acquired in the trial court.
In other words, Autry remains locked up, at least in part, because he may be needed to testify again if the appellate court orders a new trial. It's not exactly clear why it has taken so long for the defense to file this appeal. Of course, there was a lengthy testimony transcript, but the court has now ordered that this happen soon so that the process can begin. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.